Welcome, my friend, to Next Level Change Success. I'm Therese Pares, a change strategist and practitioner with over 20 years of experience designing and delivering impactful change programs across various industries. In this podcast, I share real-world practical strategies to help you create and deliver positive change experiences, whether you're a leader, practitioner, or someone looking to bring new ways of working to life. In today's fast-paced world, change is constant. Here we focus on how you can put people at the centre of your change strategy, because people with a sense of purpose are the most important link in driving performance. So if you're ready to create meaningful change and achieve all the success that comes with it, keep listening. Together, let's change the conversation and take it to the next level. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Next Level Change Success. My name is Therese Pares and I'm the founder of myvirtualchangemanager.com. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm recording on Tharawal country, pay my respects to the traditional owners and custodians on the land on which I am recording, and to elders both past, present and emerging. Today, this is one of my favourite themes that I'm going to be weaving into this podcast because it's very fundamental to myvirtualchangemanager.com. In fact, it's almost like the bottom part of the iceberg, the unseen part, which is about you. You as a change practitioner, you as a human being really looking to influence change, implement change, and how you can best approach that. So very much a Shakespearean type of theory around know thyself. The more that you know yourself, the more that you're unpacking your belief systems and choosing those that serve you, choosing those that I guess align to where you're wanting to head, then that helps you understand others better and really build that empathetic muscle. Is a lot of that has to do with how well you are reflecting for yourself, growing as a person through this whole change experience. When you're in the workplace, even at home, it's all just about growth. And so we're going to talk about growth today because it really is a theme. It's one of the change intelligence areas is growth and grit. Talk about grit because it's the intention and the will to move change through with empathy. And growth, so we're going to unpack growth today because I think it's very relevant for you if you're leading or implementing change for sure. And there's different layers to growth. So one of the first things, if you hold that as an intention with everything that you do, then it's very much around what you can learn, how you can facilitate learning for others, and also about how you bring into your structures in your world those key reflection points which help you grow, those moments that really serve you around having reflection, having an understanding of what some of your drivers may be, and once again choosing whether they serve you or not and serve others. Let's go through some examples because it helps you understand, and I'll share some of my experiences as well. So at a basic fundamental, there is definitely in my early 20s, I picked up a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and that book's been around for a long time. One of my key things was really to become financially independent. I had a drive around, I don't know that I want to work for the rest of my life. And really, there's a lot of people, and I even hear this from my nieces and nephews even now, just around what they want for their own lives. So that book, whilst was in a financial context, of course, and I was at the time working in financial services, was really a catalyst for a reflection, a self-reflection exercise where it talks about belief systems. And so in that book, if you've read it, you'll know this, but it talks about what makes one person wealthy versus another person not. And it talks a lot about family and belief systems. Robert Kiyosaki was reflecting on his own father versus a father of a friend, and really looking at the belief systems and belief systems around money. Now, that's just one area of life. We have obviously multiple areas of life, whether that be health, money, religion. There's a whole context around belief systems. But essentially, the fundamental is that we're born with no belief system as a baby, And we learn it. We learn it from our family. We learn it through experience. We build beliefs over time. And we have conscious and unconscious beliefs. And when starting to go down this rabbit hole, when it comes to part of the awareness is around how you can start to reflect on your belief systems and see, because your behaviors currently are because of your current belief systems. And if you've never done some self-reflection around, well, does this belief really serve me? Is this what I want for my life? Is this how I want to be in my life? Then you're going to really be in reactive mode all the time. So you can be focusing on behavior, think, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I did that. I won't do it again. And yet the behavior keeps reoccurring. Now, when taking this into a change context is about how you approach change, how you get plugged in by change. And some of this is around when you have an emotive reaction to someone else's reaction to a change and you get frustrated, you get annoyed, start to reflect about why. Start to reflect, has this shown up in your life before? Has it shown up in any area of your life before where you feel this level of frustration? What belief might be driving it? And does that serve you? Do you want to choose another path? What would be a better serving belief? And starts to have a bit of exploration with this. This is about growth. And certainly because I have done a lot of personal development work in my lifetime, so in my early 20s, mid-20s, really having that questioning happen in my life and self-reflection and thinking there must be more than this, sent me on a path that from my early 20s onwards, I was in a path of self-exploration, absolutely still working and having relationships and doing all of that, but certainly really always having an intent to grow as a human being. And if you're of the same ilk, if it's something that you're finding that, and this is why we've created, and certainly why I've created my virtual change manager, it's about this sense of purpose and bringing all of you to your workplace, to your family, to your life in general, because we have so much latent potential, so much potential that we essentially stifle because of beliefs, and beliefs which can be quite mythical in a lot of its foundation because of experiences we've had, and redefining and resetting and reframing that for yourself so that you can be more comfortable in your own skin. So this is part of the journey with my virtualchangemanager.com, and certainly this year, because in all of our courses we'll teach framework and talk a lot about project management, change management, and we also want to talk about this as well. I certainly want to support you to align your inquisitive nature and your curiosity to your leadership style, to the way you lead change, to the way you respond to change, to the way you implement change. Because the biggest structures that most people walk into are corporate structures. And the separation or compartmentalization that is required to deliver in and be successful in corporates, that in and of itself is a myth. It's about how you show up, how you can navigate, and how you can grow as a person, whether it be in an environment which over time you start to realize isn't in your best interest, and then you go to an organization where you can contribute positively and fit and have a sense of belonging in the culture, or whether it's just so that you can navigate and be the change in your corporate structure, so show a different way that things can be done. Because we're no longer in an age where we're not exposed to other things, other cultures, other worlds through social media, through the LinkedIns of this world, through Netflix, through seeing all these documentaries and seeing all these behaviors. Like, this is something that we can really grow through. And collectively, as you start to show up like that, you're going to automatically have people attract to you and want to connect with you within your organization because of your authenticity, because of your vulnerability and because of your key intent, which is to support your people, to perform within your organization, to build teams which are cohesive and positive, and to really give energy to that so that you can all move forward in a space of support and a space of awareness that potentially doesn't show up in other organizations or teams, but that's how you're showing up, and you're going to create that environment. And so for me in this space, this is really powerful that we have this conversation so that I can support you in owning more of that and bringing these worlds together. Because for me, that's my purpose, is to really inspire you as a listener to this podcast, or as someone who might have come across my virtualchangemanager.com, or even someone who might know me and have worked with me, to bring all of you to your work and have that sense of comfortable alignment. What I encourage you, especially if you're in a leadership role, but let's be clear, leaders are at any level of an organization. Leaders are just how you show up. So I really want to encourage you to start to have a play with it, a play where you feel safe. All you ever need to do is focus on yourself. Just always focus on yourself. As soon as you're focusing on someone else in your sphere when you're at work, you're all of a sudden becoming disempowered. This is all about how you're showing up. It's all about your reality. It's all about your lessons. It's all about how you can grow. And I think that that's a really powerful mindset to have. So where do we start? There will be some indicators for you. In the next week, you will get indicators for areas that you might want to reflect upon for yourself. One will be when you feel really plugged in by something. And it will be like, that person reminds me of someone, or that type of behavior that showed up for me when I was running a program in XYZ organization. And so this is a recurring pattern. The best thing you can do is journal. I try and journal every day. And the reason I do it is to get things in my head out of my head. And so that if it's on a page, I can reflect upon it. If it's on a page and it's in my writing, I can relate to it. And you can journal and then you can rip up the page and throw it away the next day. It doesn't matter. This is about getting it out of your head and onto paper. And there is something very much about the written word of your own handwriting, which is going to have you relate to it more and not separate yourself. So the biggest challenge we have with all of this tech is that we're very much ungrounded with it, which means we're always up in our heads. And the best thing that you can do is write things out on a page. Write things out on a page. Now, as you do that and you're looking at, okay, this is an instance which is shown up for me, there's a couple of questions. Write about the story. So if you've got something that's really irritating you, you can write, talk about the story. And I call it the story because it's almost like, imagine it's a storybook. That's the story. But what we're going to do is have a look at, has this shown up for you before in your life? Has this story happened before? Because oftentimes you might go from one organization to another and to another, and you're just repeating the same story. The same stuff comes up for you. Does it show up just at work, or is it showing up within your life? So it could be, I'm very frustrated that What's the story? Write out the story. Get the emotion out onto the page. Has this shown up for you in another area of your life? Write down. Has it shown up? Is this a recurring thing? What do you think is driving this behavior? What do you think is the belief? Write it down. If you're not very clear on what the belief is, that's okay. Just sit with the story. Okay, I can see at the moment this has happened. I can see where this has shown up before. Oh, I get a sense of this is what the belief might be around this. Is it serving me? No. What am I doing as a result of that belief that doesn't serve me? What can I do differently? And then let's have a play. Let's see if we can change our behaviors and what belief would serve me better. So just step through that exercise. That exercise can be really powerful. Have a play with it. Self-reflection around beliefs that drive behaviors is really, really powerful. And the more that you explore yours, the more you'll be able to see how other people are playing theirs out. And not that that is for you to go fix, not for you, that's for you to have conversations with your team members about their belief systems. Remember, this is about you and you unpacking yours. As soon as, and I talk about this with connected thinking, but as soon as you change and shift your behaviors, the ecosystem starts to change around you. It has to, because you're no longer doing that default unconscious behavior with another individual, whether it be in your team, whether it be one of your stakeholders. When you're not playing the game, there are a couple of different emotive reactions that you can get. One is people will really have a go. They absolutely can have a go because you've been playing a game with people. You've been serving a purpose for them as well. As soon as you change your approach to things, all of a sudden there might be some real antagonistic behavior coming your way because you're no longer playing the game. And all I will say is continue to focus on yourself. You're no longer playing the game with love and respect. I'm going to continue to focus on what I'm doing. I can't help you. And oftentimes that can happen when people have been relying on you to do their work, they've been relying on you to help them, and then they get really annoyed that you're no longer playing that game. And they're really annoyed that you're choosing you. And that's okay because you would expect that type of reaction. Or they will go and start enrolling someone else in that. The main thing is that you've got your energy and your power back in that equation. When we go through that example, hopefully that's making a bit of sense. It might resonate for you right now around something that might be going on or a dynamic going on. A lot of the times when you're in the workplace, sometimes this has to do with your leader and kind of the dynamic that happens with leaders. And within family systems, I mean, the leader in family systems, sometimes mother, father. It could be just mother, could be father, mother. It really doesn't matter, but it's about the dynamic that can happen with parents. And this isn't about right and wrong, because there's so much that in our working lives works really well because of the gifts that we've either been given from parents, from grandparents, from role models that helps us keep going. And then there's just subtle kind of areas that if you're aspiring to do better, to take back more of your own power in many times, it has to do with the dynamics that you might have experienced, seen, observed between your parental figures or between your role models in your family system, because they're so diverse now. So it's not just obviously mum and dad. Family systems are very, very diverse. And so this all has to do with within your workplace. And this is the melding of worlds. And I want to really consciously bring these together for you because we are a whole person. Yet for some reason, we've been told a story about compartmentalizing our lives. It's the whole get dressed for work, put on that shield, put on that armor, go into the workplace, be that person, be that persona, and then come home, take the clothes off, take the armor off, and then be this person at home. No, the most successful and satisfied people are just the same person. And I'm navigating different environments. And I'm connecting with people in these environments. And I'm either having healthy or unhealthy relationships in these environments, and these dynamics all come to the fore so I can learn about myself, so I can grow as a person. And by doing that, as a byproduct, I'm going to show up and support other people in a more authentic and genuine way. So I hope you're getting an idea around growth. And I hope you're understanding the vision for my virtual change manager and where we're going with change. This is about change for you because it's always happening, bringing it into your consciousness, giving you more tools so that you can feel empowered. And then when you are leading change, when you're delivering change, when you're facilitating change, you're going into this fantastic arena of activity where you can grow fast. If you choose, if you really want to look into this. If you don't, then that's fine too. Have a look at the frameworks, understand where we talk about frustration, etc. And if you want to bring this sense of purpose, then let's go together. Like, I'm really up for supporting you. We're all human. We're going to do our best. For me, it's simply showing you and providing you with a mirror, providing you with some tools that you can look at, and then you can choose to use those tools or not use those tools. And it's always perfect. You're always making the right decision. Doesn't matter what you choose, it's always a good decision, because you're going to just learn and learn and learn. And that's all life is. It's almost the trick of life. It's not about having this one thing that I was here to do. The only thing you need to do is to sit and choose. Most of the time we're choosing unconsciously. And this is about saying, well, you can choose consciously as well. And there's no right or wrong in it. It's about choosing. It's about what you want to grow and learn. It's what you want to tap into. There's a reason why you're listening to this episode today. And I really encourage you to reflect, get a book, get a pen. If you find you're up in your head a lot, just create the small habit, even if it's writing 2 lines, just to get what's in your head out of your head. Remember the dreaded disconnect of tech, which can happen because we're so up in our heads, and tapping on a keyboard is not the same as writing on a notepad. So write on a notepad, start to go through that. The story, has this story shown up before? What belief system is driving this? What belief system would serve me better? Obviously, with the belief system driving it, does it serve me? Does it not? How does it work? Is there another belief system that would serve me better, which resonates more, which is truer for me? What's the resulting behavior then of that new belief? What are the things and the options you have to do things differently? And then, am I willing to have a play with showing up a bit differently and seeing how that changes my reality? There'll be a guide if you jump onto my virtualchangemanager.com for this episode. I'll be putting there around growth and putting in a downloadable guide which goes through those questions. You can fill out that sheet. Writing, don't tap. Definitely get writing. Even if your writing is terrible, or you say you put big judgment on your writing and say it's terrible, who cares? It's your writing, it's you. So write. Just write so that you can connect with the belief, with the system, the story, unpack it. And remember that the origin of story when looking at this is about if you have a strong emotional reaction throughout the day. It could be to an email. It could be in a meeting. It could be just throughout the day that all of a sudden you feel angry at someone's behavior in the office or whatever that may be. This is just know that that's a plug-in point, and plug-in points are really great to be able to unpack. You might have a real joyful moment and go, wow, I was so happy, and then say, okay, where are the other moments where I've been this happy? These are the things, so it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It can be that you tap into a really positive feeling. And I hope you can hear that I'm tapping into a really positive feeling right now, because I always feel joy when I see other people do fantastic things. So these are the things where this type of exercise can be really, really powerful. I hope this has helped. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. This is about growth and holding that intention at all times when you're working in change, leading change, facilitating change. If you need other people to change their behaviors as part of something that you're delivering, that's a great space to learn a lot about how do you influence without control. So many things to talk about, and we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to be talking about the way you're showing up, your purpose, this type of exercise, your belief systems, how you can shift that so that the change experience can be one of growth. Have a wonderful day. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I certainly have enjoyed sharing this with you and talking with you about it. And just remember that change matters because your people matter and you matter. Have a good day. Hi, it's Therese here again. I just wanted to mention that we have the Change Intelligence webinar series happening this year, and you don't want to miss out on any of the topics that we're going to cover. It's a live webinar series talking about change resilience, change frameworks, connected thinking, how you can change your mindset and the mindset of others, behavioural change and what that can offer. If you don't want to miss out, then come to myvirtualchangemajor.com. Just simply register and we'll let you know when the next webinars are happening so that you can come along. Spaces are limited, so be sure to jump across and register as soon as you can, and you'll see some of the topics that we're going to cover. I hope to see you there and to continue to work with you to create positive change experiences.